My name is Richard.
My name is Hudson.
And this is Real Talk with H&R. Ladies and gentlemen, just want to wish you guys a happy new year. This episode is going to be a year in review. We're going to review pretty much about, the topics that we spoke about last year. We know last year was a tough year, but it was a blessing for Hudson and I. We just had so many blessings upon blessings. Guests that we had, we're just going to relive and, to revisit, those particular guests. What you think, Hudson?
Yeah, first of all, I just want to say Happy New Year to everybody. Hey, it's been a tough year, 2020. Every time I'm looking back to what takes place in that year, if we're still alive, it's thanks to God, and the fact that we're here, this is our first, podcast for this year. And we just want to reflect back to see what has taken place and how God was moving throughout the year of 2020.
Yeah, obviously I got to thank my brother Hudson, because without Hudson, man, this podcast not possible. He, behind the scenes, he's the man who's really rolling the ball, coming up with different ideas, how to elevate the podcast, guests, topics. He really has everything rolling, man.
You did your thing too.
I appreciate that, man. But you really really on your stuff. Yeah. So that's really appreciated, man. Because you just never know. Yeah. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying. So I'm truly appreciative, man, how you come through and how you're continuously moving and want the podcast to elevate.
Thank you, my brother. And also, we can't forget, man. This is all possible because of our man Welch.
Oh, God, here we go.
The place.
You gotta put him over.
The studio.
You gotta put him over.
Everything. After God, this young man make everything possible here.
He's not young. He's older than both of us.
I know, but still young, man. Still young. I don't like to put label old on people.
He's older than both
even,
of us.
sometimes, even old people don't want you to tell them they're old.
He's older than both of us.
All right. So the young man is making move, even through the pandemic, he's making move. A lot of people out there, we are so afraid. Some people stay inside. The whole year was so weird. You know what? That's why the Bible says we should not live in fear. But last year was a year where a lot of people had no answers for what was happening. And they were so afraid. Even to this day, right now, they're still afraid because they're like, you know what? If I get out there right now, what may happen to me? Which in reality, you have no control over anything, But you wake up, God allow you to wake up. Hey, plan your day and see what can happen. What can I change? What can I come up with? And Welsh was one of the guys, when I saw him, I'm like, hey, man, this guy's trying to make move throughout this whole year, last year, And that's what kind of like me, when you talk to me and you say, Hudson, man, we need to do something this year. And we had that idea for this podcast. And I realized, you know what? It's the perfect time to start this. So the year was tough. Yeah, the year was tough for a lot of families. But at the same time, a lot of positive things took place. This podcast, a lot of people realizing, hey, I've been going too fast with my life. Let me just take a backseat. Let me slow down a little bit. Let me see the other side that I haven't touched in my life. We went biking. We haven't done that in years. And I know you for more than a decade.
It was fun.
We went biking.
Yep.
We went hiking.
Went to the beach.
We went to the beach. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because stuff like that, we never actually done this, even though we've been boys for a long time. But it's always we meet at the church, or it's always you go to my house. We hang, we watch football, stuff like that. But we never actually explore the outside right now because we're too busy.
But here's the thing, guys. We've gone to the beach before. We're talking about we did this all on bikes. We actually went to the Charles River as well. But I don't like how this is a podcast that is a 30-minute podcast. We just spent 5 minutes talking about Welch. That is a problem. We need to. This is a podcast
Welch is
year.
My boy, man.
This is a podcast year in review. No, but in all honesty, in all seriousness, Welch does elevate the product. He makes us look really, really good.
Oh, yeah.
So I do appreciate Welch and for everything he does. And if you guys do need a podcast, I got to do a little plug real quick. Podcasts, weddings, photo shoots, Welch, Prince Hall.
This is the place.
572 Bill Ricker, Massachusetts. Please.
Yeah.
Boston Road, I'm telling you. But anyway, so we're just going to we're going to go through some of the topics that we spoke about. That's what this podcast is all about. How about we talk about real quick the church hurt? For me, it was powerful because it felt like, and I went down memory lane, and I liked it because it was like we got a lot of good feedback, just interesting feedback. Because to me, it was like, I think that's important because a lot of individuals went through church hurt.
Yeah.
A lot of people, like, they suffered through a lot of things, like, they went through a lot, and I feel like that for us to tackle that particular topic was important, especially you and I as two men of God who are constantly seeking out the Lord. I think that was crucial for us to tackle that particular topic. You know what I'm saying? It was good.
I mean, it was very enlightening for a lot of people, even though we had some comment to trying to understand, because the main thing to talk about this topic was not to actually push people away from the church or trying to leave the church. And it was more for to make people understand that you will face trouble in the church, because at the end of the day, we all humans, we make mistakes, we make a lot of mistakes in our lives, but at the same time, it is not a reason for us to walk away until we resolve it. And church hurt was an episode that you face certain situations. I did face some situations.
We both went through it. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm still a man that goes to the church.
Yeah.
It's important in our lives to know that you have a place where you go to worship with your brothers and sisters, and no matter what's going on in your life, and it's not only for the church, it's everything that you do in life, everything, whatever situation that you're facing, you got to make sure that you find ways to resolve it, because at the end of the day, it benefits you. It also benefits the people around you.
Yeah, I mean, it is very, very important. And I can't forget this either. Before we go to living with your spouse before you get married, we gotta give it up to Quest Radio, Carlos. Man, he really put us on, man. Like, to put us on a radio station, man. I think that's something pretty cool. He put us on a radio station, put us on Alexa, just Amazon. So he really helped us out as well. So Carlos, man, God bless you. We want to say thank you for all you've done for this podcast, man. We appreciate what you've done for the H&R show, man. It's pretty cool.
Shout out to him. I mean, the man is making a lot of great things.
Doing great things
in the
right
community,
now, man.
Especially for the Christian community. All the things that he's doing right now. The young artists, young gospel artists that doesn't have a voice, he puts him. He got a platform to show those young artists, podcasts like such as ourselves right now, when we talk to him and he put us on, and he's always giving us some ideas. He's always giving us some, hey, here's the way we should start doing certain things, because we're still young in this business right now. We're still young, but we're learning, and he's one of the guys that's giving us some great ideas, and hey, we're looking forward to see how we're going to keep working and keep growing together.
Yep. Another one of the podcasts I thought that was very interesting was Should You Live Together Before You Get Married? We did it with the silent assassin, I call her. Jordael. Guys, please, Jordael, I'm about to hook you up.
Yep.
I'm about to give you a plug real quick. Please go to Jody Roots. That's her YouTube page. Please subscribe. This girl got some pipes. We didn't have her sing on the podcast, but she can sing, man.
She can do it.
And she's an exceptional writer. An exceptional writer. So please subscribe to her YouTube page, which is Jody Roots.
Yep.
Please subscribe to her YouTube page. I thought that was cool, the one that we did with her, because at the end of the day, a lot of people are moving in together. And the analogy, they're always using is, oh, well, you're not going to test drive a vehicle. I mean, you're not going to buy a vehicle without test driving it first.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and, we kind of act a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Because, kind of acting things like, personally, it's like, because to me, it's like, there's no guarantees that you're going to get married. There's no guarantees. So for me, that's why I was saying during that podcast, it's very dangerous to do. Because you're giving your body to somebody, you're giving your all to somebody, and that person doesn't get to finish your story. Why put yourself through that? Especially because you're playing with people's emotions. Yeah. And it's not okay to play with people with individuals' emotions. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's tough. People go through a lot, and it's like, living with someone before you get married to them, like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And the perspective that we put on that is because we were talking about, like, especially young Christians.
Yeah.
Because this podcast is mostly focused on Christianity.
Yeah, exactly.
Things about Christ,
Exactly.
But also we talk to everybody,
Yep.
But the thing is, it's just like, when you put yourself in these situations, when you know that you start something but you're not going to finish it together, what's going to happen? There's going to be regrets afterwards. They're going to be hurt in the process, And the whole thing is that marriage is not something that you should take lightly.
Nope.
It's important because it's divinely made by God. And if you know you're gonna start this journey, you gotta make sure that you're not playing around with it.
That's real.
Because hurting people in the process does not benefit nobody. And also, you're gonna hurt somebody, and that person will have trust issue. That person will deal with certain things for the next person is gonna he or she gonna have in their lives. So pretty much you just gotta make sure you think about those things before you get into them. Learn, seek counseling, and try to make sure that you're doing the right thing.
Another one we had with your brother.
The music
one.
Yeah.
How important music is. Music is very important.
And the compa.
Yeah, I had to go in there, the compa and the zouk. It's like for me, music is very important. A lot of people say music is life, to them. And, it's funny because this pandemic, I could honestly say that music, I can't say music is life. It's not listened to, but I really realized I didn't really need it. Like, as much as I thought I did, like when I was little growing up, I loved music, don't get me wrong. But some people use music, to usher into the presence of God. I never needed that. Now, I'm not saying it's not a good way to do it. I just get down, like today, I had a great prayer session with the Lord. Yeah. I didn't need music to do that. I just got down on my knees and I felt the presence of the Lord. I didn't need to do that. Now, don't get me wrong, when I'm going to the gym or like sometimes when I'm riding my bike, yeah, it helps, it's motivating. Worship and praise music is always good to usher in the presence of God, but I'm saying is you don't need music to usher in the presence of God.
You know what?
I'm saying?
I mean, I respect your opinion on that one, but me, it's different. I think music plays a great part, when it comes to my life. I grew up in a family where my mother sings, my late dad used to sing. I was surprised. The man can sing.
He got some pipes, huh?
He
got some pipes.
He could harmonize. I'm like, Dad, really? He's like, oh, son, you don't know nothing about me.
Ladies and gentlemen,
you should sing.
That's why Hudson's always singing, y'all. Like, every time a song plays, Hudson always has his own, version of the song.
So, listen, you got to improvise. Sometimes you got to be creative.
I'm just saying.
Be creative. I know you're always trying to, Hudson, that's not how it goes.
Oh, no, I mean, he can sing. I'm just saying, though. I'm just saying, that's what you do.
But if I feel good with what I'm saying, all you got to do as my boy is like, okay, he's having his time. No. Let me have my time.
He knows how to sing. That's my boy. I'm just saying. Sometimes I'm listening to a song, I like the song, and husband's add the remix. I'm like, I don't want to hear the remix every single time.
I'm just saying, a few notes, but on the real, listen, music set the moods for me, and I'm a fan of music, but for example, jazz music. Sometimes the music, how it flows, even what you do think. Sometimes a lot of black people they don't want to talk about it. Even orchestra sometimes, like the violin, all those moves going on. When it gets in my mind, he makes me think a little bit. It's like, man, what a beautiful creation, God made that, and we have the ability to do this, and people, wherever you grow up depends on what kind of music that you grew up in, and like for Haitian people, the compa is a must, and I know people go in for that. And wherever you are, the music that you grew up in, you cannot really tell me that it does not influence you some type of way. It may not be necessary for everything that you do, but I know for some people, if they don't listen to a piece every day, they don't feel good.
I mean, to me, like I said before, I never said music wasn't important.
I'm trying to fight you. I'm not trying to fight you.
No.
You started No.
I said that I don't need music to usher in the presence of God. I realized that I don't. Don't get me wrong. It's a beautiful tool to do that. You could.
Yeah.
But if you need music to usher in the presence of God, I mean, let's just be honest. Some people don't use music to usher in the presence of God. That's a story for another day.
No.
They need music for other reasons.
God is involved. God is present in everything anyway. He's watching.
Okay. So we want to get to another one. We're going to gloss over this one, Moments of Truth. Hudson and I asked each other crazy questions, which I thought was interesting. Welch thinks it was a horrible episode. I think it was good. It's one of the most views we had, so whatever.
You got me produce scenario for movies, man.
I'm just saying, man. Now. We wanted to see who Hudson really was. We put him in scenarios to see his personality.
You got people calling me out. Oh, send you a sellout.
But the next one I really want to talk about is identifying we are the problem. That one was very powerful.
Yes, it was.
Because Hudson and I were talking, like, as two young black men, we were talking about we need to see our part in things.
Yeah.
Because the thing about it is, I think, yes, we do point the finger as black people, and rightfully so.
Yep.
But at times, we need to realize that we don't support each other enough.
Yeah.
We don't have each other's backs enough. And that's the issue. Because I see more drama with black people than actually black people having each other's backs. And that was the issue that Hudson and I want to identify. Like, I've seen, like, me from a personal perspective, I've seen black dudes just look at me like, yo, trying to fight me. I'm like, I don't even know who you are, homie.
I don't
And
know.
dudes like legit looking at me like, yo, what's good? I'm like, really? You know what I'm saying? So Hudson and I want to identify, supporting black businesses, things of that nature. Like, we need to support each other. Yo, and when you see Asian businesses, you wanna know why they're always flourishing?
Together.
Because they're together. Like, they flock from, like, I know there's many Asian businesses in Malden. People come from Lynn. People come from New Hampshire. Asians come from all around Massachusetts just to support that business because they say, hey, one of our own is doing something, so we need to support it. I'm not saying that the Chinese and the Japanese are together because they have their issues. Yeah. What I'm saying is, but when they open up a business, they come through, man. And I just wish black people would do the same.
And they survive together. You know what I'm saying? The stores can be together, close to each other, but there ain't gonna be no problems because they're doing their own thing each. But what we always fight is less like, I feel like for most of us, it's mostly when we are doing something, we want to make sure that the next person that next to me should not outshine me. I think it's one of the problems that we have the most. Like, if I'm having success right now, if the next person next door is doing the same thing as me, I don't want him to outshine me. He's going to take my customers away from me and stuff like that.
Like the Haitian church, man.
But at the end of the day, wow, you kind of threw the punch there.
I had to do that, man.
but at the end of the day,
constant competition.
At the end of the day, I think like there's they need to have more compassion, and that's one of the things I realized in 2020. There was a lot of shifting going on, especially in the black community.
I believe there was,
and which is a great thing.
There was awareness. There was definitely awareness.
There were more people making moves,
yes.
More people trying to support each other, more people trying to voice, because some people, they're afraid to bring certain things to the table, or they're afraid to show their faces. But you have other people like, you know what? Oh, you can do it. I can do it for you.
Hudson feels empowered now, guys, because he has a Black Lives Matter mask. It's right there.
Oh, get out of here.
So now he feels.
I wanted to buy one.
That? Now he feels like.
I wanted to buy one.
I'm the one who pointed that out to him. He didn't even see that mask. I was like, yo, Hudson, I'll let you have, because you want a black mask, I'll let you have the Black Lives Matter mask. Now all of a sudden, Hudson feels like he's an advocate for black people.
Hey, man, listen. At the end of the day, God was moving in 2020, okay?
Yes, he was.
And all the move that was happening, all the things, people, their eyes have been opened. I know some people find other directions to show that their eyes are open, but in reality, the true move is in God, and the true move happens in the churches. Church could not, gather together. We went through a lot last year, and we also learned a lot about ourselves. We learned a lot about the church. We learned a lot about us as black people, and which is a continuity of things that we want to keep doing and then be better for each other, and also not neglecting the other people, the other nations that surround us. Because at the end of the day, as men of God, as women of God, as people of God, we need to find ways to use an atmosphere where we can get everybody together, man. That's all. That's what it's all about.
No, it is all about that. It's very important, that we stick together as black people. I love my people, and I think Hudson's right. We are making progress as a society, and we need to continue on with that progress. Another episode, man, the power of social media. And once again, social media has made people rich. Instagram, people have literally become rich off of YouTube. People literally have become rich off of being an Instagram model.
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin Hart married an Instagram model, for goodness sakes.
Good for him.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, my, she bad, bro. I ain't gonna lie. The thing about it is, but what are you doing with that newfound fame? What are you doing with that platform? Are you using it, to show off your booty, or, to show off parts of your body, or are you actually using social media to implement change? If you look at my page, what I try to pride myself on, and I know I've been advertising the podcast, but what God put on my heart to get back into doing is to really reflect his light and put out messages that give God glory.
But you've been in MIA a lot too.
I have. Because you know what? I guess I don't have time to show my muscles.
Ouch. That's a job for me. Okay.
Woo!
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to let this one slide. I don't show no abs, no muscles to anybody, okay? I'm trying to just use this to show people, listen, if you want better results in your life, when it comes to health, when it comes to staying in shape, hey, if I can do it, you can do it.
Making faces and grunting, I guess.
No, I don't.
That's
do
part.
I don't. Do
that's
stuff
part
like that.
of the process.
Hey, listen, I was a blubber whale, okay? I was a, let's just say, I was out of shape, okay?
A blubber whale? What is
a
that?
burger. I was a burger, okay? Even though I still could do everything that I want to do, but I was not happy to where I was going. So pretty much it's a journey that I'm sharing with people so that way they can say, hey, if you want to make change, you can do it.
Okay.
All right.
That's cool. No. Hey, I'm with that. You know, so if you're on social media, young people of God, you know, just keep reflecting God's light in whatever platform you have, especially if you have many members. Because I have seen people do a lot of good stuff on social media, which is awesome. Proud of you guys. Keep it up. But if you do have a platform, and you have a strong following, please set a good example. Because cut it out with the nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So if you have those platforms, use those platforms to do great things and to make an impact. One of my favorite episodes, well, two of them, well, the one after this one, should Christian men be sexy? And obviously got a lot of feedback. Women were saying, yes, I want my man to be sexy.
I want him to see me.
The question was, you know, what people like, okay, my whole thing was pretty much, are men going too far with their sexiness, like showing their body off? You know, there are certain people that deal with the spirit of lust. So it's like showing your body parts, you know, doing certain things like, you know, yeah, being sexy, you know, in terms of, hey, I want to look good for my wife, or I want to, you know, look a certain way that's appealing to someone that I want to give attention to, the right person, obviously. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
You know one thing?
We're talking about the wrong attention.
Yeah, but you know one thing that I forgot to mention last time we did that episode?
Yeah, well, what did you forget?
Before you met your wife or you met your husband, you were at the gym every day, working out every day because you wanted to look good.
That's true. Yeah.
Because hey, you're waiting for something and you expected something at the time, right?
Expecting something else, yeah.
Hey, you met the person. After that, hey, food is good, everything is good, you're happy.
Life is good, eating well.
You gain a few.
Manger bon.
You gain a few pounds.
Manger bon.
You gain a few, and then after that, you just neglect yourself. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Where is the first love? Where's the first time you know what I'm saying? And even in terms of spirituality, you know, whatever the body is going through physically, it impacts your spirituality too. Because right now you're out of shape. You got to bed, you just got out of work, you got to bed. You can't even say, Lord, thank you for everything you have done. You just say, Lord, and you pass out because you're so tired. Hey, you don't go to the gym anymore. Or I have the wife that I wanted. I have the husband that I wanted. Then after that, we just stop.
Yeah, you're all set.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't need nothing else.
There's nothing wrong with that. You team up with your wife, okay? You go back to the gym. Rekindle the old times, you know? There's nothing wrong with that, which was when we were talking about like being sexy, whether you're a man or a woman. So that's what it was all about. You know, keep the fire alive. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so moving on. Now, one of my favorite shows, my little sister came on here. And if you haven't gotten her book, man,
that fire.
Breakfast with Jesus, amazing. She did part 2 of the show, Should Christian Women Be Sexy? She brought it from a Christian perspective.
She did.
Used verses, a lot of great feedback. It's probably one of the most. Yeah. I think it's just one of the most popular ones we've had because people were really coming out the woodworks telling us your sister did a great job and really thought that it was amazing just by the way we were coming out. So Laureen, God bless you. And yeah, I mean, let's be real. My wife, whoever she is, I know she's already gonna be sexy. Of course I want to be sexy.
In your eyes,
I just don't want her to be exposed when she's going out. Like she can, you know what I'm saying? My wife can go out, put on her suit jacket. Oh, I love women in suit jackets. Oh my gosh!
Okay.
All I'm saying is,
chill.
It's nice. It's nice. Hey, I'm good, bro. I'm just keeping it real.
Don't make Welsh come after you.
I'm just keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? But you know, at the same time, it's like, you know, you ain't gotta expose your breast and all this other stuff. Like, I just think that showing cleavage and all that stuff out of control. You know, it's not to me personally, it's not classy. Yeah. But some people think, oh, that's sexy. I'm like, no, because to me, it's like, you know, save your goods for your husband. Yeah. That was my thing on it.
One thing we forgot to talk about that episode as well is that we forgot to say, hey, being sexy is not about showing yourself. It's not about showing your body parts. It's not about showing how many abs you have and stuff like that. Being sexy can be an intellectual thing, you know what I'm saying? It could be your personality, your character, you know? Certain features that you have, yes, it's a physical thing. A lot of people think about that, but as well is how you care for people, how you love people, how you love to, you know, to be available, you know what I'm saying? To talk, you know, what you have on the inside, the person that you really are, you know? So that was a great episode, and we know we had some back and forth with your sister, and your sister went back at it with Welch, the producer, the man in the back, in the scene that's always lurking and say, Hudson, man, he's what I think. You know, he's very opinionated. You know this guy. So, but it was a great episode, and you know, pretty much this podcast is pretty much to show people, listen, when it comes to God, when it comes to what we do, certain things, sometimes we just take spirituality and we neglect everything else. We only say, this is God. And then after that, nothing is important. The thing is, that's the mistakes that we make. The Bible says that you need to seek first the kingdom of God. It doesn't say seek only the kingdom of God.
Seek kingdom first.
Seek the kingdom first. That means there are other responsibilities that's around it you need to take care of. And that's why Jesus was with his disciple. He was with them. He walked with them. He eats with them. He fellowship with them. And even though they laughed together, you know, God, we always see God, right? We see him. We serve him. We have him in our life. He's the number one priority. But there are also other priority that we need to also take care of for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that we need to understand and to always keep in mind as Christians.
So we have we're pressed for time, so we're not going to go over, we have 4 more podcasts that we did, but I think only 2 more we should address. We talked about, you know, the dangers behind the horoscopes.
Yeah.
And
this one was
and reading stuff. Just go back and look at it. Learn about horoscopes, learn about, you know, all the other crazy stuff. We learned about meditation.
Yeah.
Which the dangers behind meditation, like you're not doing it the right way.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about astral projection, which I see that image everywhere, and people think that it's a good thing. The astral projection is very demonic.
It is.
And you should go back and go to our podcast, our YouTube page, and look at it. And but the 2 I really want to address, we're really quick with it, is the one we did, the importance of forgiveness.
Yeah.
And the importance of forgiveness is, once again, it's crucial, and I don't want to talk about it too long because I think it's self-explanatory.
Yeah.
But we talked about different kinds of forgiveness. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not listened to that one, please go back, because I really advise you, because Hudson and I really did research on this one. We did a lot of research, and I think this one we got the most feedback on.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people were struggling with forgiveness, and the one thing I told people all the time was, forgiveness is not just for the person; it's for you as well. It's for you to move on. It's for you to be able to say, okay, I finally feel at peace.
Yeah, that's true.
Because a lot of people struggle with that, you know, and the Bible says, God says, you know, if you don't forgive your neighbor, how can I forgive you in front of my Father? So if God's saying that, you know, it's like, that's important. God's saying he can't advocate on your behalf if you don't forgive people for their transgressions, for things that they've done towards you. So it's important and it's crucial for us to forgive people, because you need that inner peace. If you have kids, if you have a wife, or you're a husband, or whatever the case may be, you know, it's hard for you as an individual to function mentally. And a lot of families or relationships are hindered because people still have not forgiven people who've done stuff to them in the past.
It's necessary. You can't go around it. You can't take shortcuts for that, because it's important that we always try to find ways to resolve certain things. Forgiveness is important. And like I said, if I could say this in my, language in Creole, la vie en Dieu, man. And la vie pas facile.
What you're saying is that life is hard and life is not easy.
And when si on moun fait hurt you, si on moun, font bagay ki mal.
Someone hurt you and does something bad to you.
Ou pas besoin de solution until ou chercher moun sa pour parler avec.
You won't find a solution until you find a person and talk to him.
Parler avec, chercher comprendre ou même avec moun.
Find them and understand the person, because that's the only way you're going to be able to Move on.
Rangel.
And fix the situation.
Rangel.
You have to fix it.
La vie en toi coûte, man.
Life is too short.
Life is too short. So make sure you find that person and say, hey, let's squash this. Let's start over.
It has to be like that. You know?
That's it.
I like that dynamic. You speak. Listen,
saying?
don't be speaking that advanced Creole and be like, "Oh, Rich is good. I'm good with the basics." He was speaking basic Creole. If he started speaking like big words, I'd be like, "Yo, brother, you may have to go back to English." You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I got the French too, but I'm gonna reserve that for another day because
I can't translate that.
I can't speak French.
Oh no, he speaks French very well. I can't translate that, y'all, ladies and gentlemen.
I can't speak French.
I can't translate French, but if he speaks basic Creole, I got it.
If I wanted to start talking in French right now, man.
But if he went to those advanced words, I'd be like, nah, I'm good.
Forget that.
What about Hudson? What about the ladies we had? The last podcast we had, manifesting a pandemic. You want to give them the names of the ladies that we did?
Kathleen Gideon, I believe, and Kadesh Conroy. These ladies came. That was the last episode we had for the year 2020.
And they bullied me pretty much because of Hudson. They bullied me. They bullied me.
Those two
ladies
gave me
advice.
Here,
they gave me advice. Good advice.
The advice those ladies gave was fire.
It's beautiful, man.
You know, because they know what they're talking about.
Yep.
And we were just here listening, and it's like, wow. And I'm glad we had those ladies because there's a lot of women out there that's doing ministry for God. And sometimes they don't even have a voice. And this is why, hey, podcast is here. If you're listening, you got something great that you want to share with the world, ministry that you are doing, let us know. We can feature you. We can bring you here and you can talk to the people, and we're always here to learn. And you can find us anywhere. This podcast is available anywhere that you can find a podcast. Yeah.
I mean, I was really inspired by them because they're both writers and they wrote books during the pandemic, and they were giving me tools that I need, things that I'm going to be using, especially I have a sermon I have to write very soon. So, I'm very inspired by the both of them and the knowledge that they had and what they brought to the table. It was really appreciative. And to me, it's probably the best podcast that we did. I learned a lot, from them and just letting them take over because they just knew a lot. And it was pretty awesome.
And I want to say thank you to them, wherever they are right now. Thank you to them.
Oh, ladies, appreciate you guys.
God bless you, ladies.
God bless you guys. Yo, so guys, next week, it's about to go down. We have two very special guests for you next week. Hudson, let me give y'all a little hint. I don't know if y'all hear this.
Really?
I'm gonna hear this. I don't know if y'all can hear this though.
You should put it closer to that.
Play my mic.
Yeah. What's the name of the podcast? Because these ladies, they're doing great things
right now. So the podcast is called L'école.
L'église.
L'école, l'église, la caille. Which means l'école means school. L'église means church.
Yes.
La caille means your house.
At home.
So I'm telling you right now, if you are Haitian, and most Haitian people grew up this way, that was your life.
Yeah.
That was your life. Literally.
That's the three most important
words. À l'église, à la caille, à l'école. No, that was your life.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
You want to say the names of the ladies that were coming through?
No, you go ahead. I know. Yeah.
Bettina.
Yeah, Bettina. But they call her Tina.
AKA Shower Cap. That's what I'm calling her.
I call her Miss Bonnet, though. Just the bar and everything.
What about her partner in crime, though?
I wanna make sure that I say it right.
You'll say it correctly. You got it. Nakia, I would say. Nakia. I'm calling.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Call her Nike. I call her Nike, aka Nike. But
I call her Miss Frost to make it easy. But we'll work on that.
Nakia. I'm still working on her name, but Nakia. I call her Nakia and Bettina. These ladies and gentlemen, please go subscribe to their YouTube page. They have about 400,000 members, I believe,
they've been
on
in the game for
Instagram.
For a bit.
They're award winners.
At what they do.
They're award winners. They're very funny.
Yeah.
They have a huge following, and I'm very excited to say that they will be here with us next week. I am so excited. I am very, very excited to have them. We can learn a thing or two about them because they've been doing podcasts for a while.
Yeah.
So their show is like high profile. They know the same people that we know. We travel in the same circles. You know, so I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? Speak a little Creole. You know, we're gonna have a good time.
Funny,
you know?
It's funny that I never met them while they know pretty much most of the people I know.
You know what's funny? They go to my church. But they go to second service. I go to first service. Oh, okay. I didn't even know Bettina even went to my church. Nike is Jordael's cousin. You see what I'm saying? So I met Nike before because we did outreach together. So I know Nike. Bettina, I never met her ever until that time we did the Zoom. I never met her ever. So, ladies and gentlemen, please come through. It's going to be a phenomenal episode. Phenomenal. And we're going to have a great time, guys. Year in review. We want to thank you so much. And you can catch this episode on Quest Radio every Monday at 5 p.m. Next Monday at 5 p.m. you'll be able to catch this particular episode. And please subscribe to the YouTube page because this will be up later on tonight. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, please, it's the H&R Show podcast. And please, once again, ladies and gentlemen, Rosso Productions, Welch Paul, 572, Bill Recca, Boston Road. Please, if you need photos done, if you need a podcast, if you even want to do a TV show or a worship night or a church service, whatever, all that stuff is done in this particular studio. Welch Paul will work with you. The price is right. You know, the price is right. Good. Price is really good.
Come on down.
So I'm telling you, man, this dude will make you look like $1 million.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you.
2020 is gone. Okay.
Yes, it's over.
Now it's 2021.
It's finished, baby.
One thing I just want to say is that move with God.
Yes.
Okay. 2021, the challenges that was in 2020 still here right now.
Yes.
But we're praying for this to change because I want that freedom. I don't want to wear the mask anymore. I want to be out there with my boys, be in the courtyard, you know, playing basketball, playing football, whatever it is, go hiking. But until then, you got to stay safe, trust God. 2021, let's go.
Okay, everybody, we thank you so much for tuning in. God bless you and take care.